So welcome back to the show, the founder and executive director of CraveABLES, Taylor Perkins.
We had one little girl with Down syndrome come in, and she stopped in her tracks, and she was like, "Mommy, that employee, the lady at the register, she looks just like me."
Oh, wow.
So she was shocked and so happy to see somebody that looked like her sitting behind the register, ready to take her order. And then it was so cute. 5 minutes later, they were both doing a dance party in the middle of the dance floor at CraveABLES.
I know, Chris, we couldn't even get ice cream. There was too many people in
I
there.
mean, your parking lot was absolutely packed.
Yeah.
We were like, where do we park? This is awesome. I mean, it was just an incredible day.
You have a new ice cream truck now.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
It's wheelchair accessible,
Yeah.
which was a really big deal because we have a few employees that are in wheelchairs, and they've always wanted to be able to do the events. And when they heard that we were getting a ice cream truck that wheelchair lift was on there, they were like, "Book me the first event, I want to work it." So
But if you can envision Mom hanging out the side of a
yeah, good for you. I
helicopter.
can't say I would do
Yeah,
that. I'd be
I did
terrified.
it for Alzheimer's.
Yes.
I hope I don't have to do it again.
She was like, "Please put me on schedule for my birthday. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else."
Oh, my goodness.
So I'm like, they do love it here. They, this is where they want to be.
Sure did. That's exactly right. To go get some
Come
ice
get some
cream.
ice cream.
Yeah, and it's so exciting to be a part of.
I mean,
Amazing.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest things I think we've learned.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
well, hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. Now, grab your favorite cup of coffee, find your favorite seat, and pull up a chair to Around the Table with Vickie. I'm your co-host, Chris Runk, and across the table from me is my mother, your host, Vickie Runk.
And we are starting season 2, and we can't hardly believe it. As of April 1st, we've been on the air and on podcast for a solid year, and we've had so many wonderful people right here at the table. Last week, we reminisced about all of our highlights and different things, but one of the stars of last year's show is with us today. Why don't you introduce Miss Taylor?
Well, like you said, Mom, one of the very first episodes we ever had on. So welcome back to the show, the founder and executive director of CraveABLES, Taylor Perkins.
Hello, I'm so happy to be back here. I can't believe it's already been almost a year.
Yeah, and a year
Crazy.
for you and your
Yeah.
business. Tell us a little bit from when you were here last time. We were talking about your ice cream truck and everything that was going on with, mobile time that the workers were getting to put in. And also you were getting ready to open up a storefront.
Yes.
So tell us about
It's
all
been
that.
a crazy, fun year. Last time we were here, we were getting ready to open our doors. I believe we were renovating our storefront. We had a trailer that we go around to events, and our workers got to work there maybe 2-3 days a week. But in June, we opened our storefront, and the community has been amazing. We started with about 20 employees. We are now currently at 34.
Wow.
Which is a big celebration. That includes able staff. Those are the ones with intellectual disabilities, and support staff as well.
So tell our listeners, for those of you that don't know, we're here with Taylor Perkins with CraveABLES. Tell us exactly what your mission is,
Yeah.
what your vision is, and how far we've come since a year.
So CraveABLES is not just an ice cream shop or a mobile ice cream truck that you can book. We are a nonprofit whose mission is to employ those with intellectual disabilities through supportive employment. So we give them a platform to show the community how able they are, and just the encouragement and confidence and skills to succeed in the workplace.
And you started in a school setting.
Yes, that's right.
I think our listeners would enjoy just a little, look back at your career and how you began to have this vision and passion for what you're doing.
Yeah. So I was a high school special education teacher for 7 years. Most of my students came in at about age 14 and would exit until at about age 22. And we really focused on, building those academic skills, building those daily living skills. But as they got closer to aging out, we would have those hard conversations with parents and my students of what's next once they exit school. And their hope was a job. And unfortunately, because they did have various needs, most employers can't meet those, or they just don't exactly know how. So we decided to form the nonprofit spring of 2023, and then kind of fundraise for a year, see if the community supported it and would be customers, because without customers, we don't have anybody to serve. We don't have any work to do. And the community has been so great and has supported us. And so we were able to open our doors last June.
So what are some of the memories that you have over the last 12 months that really jump out to you that involves the community support?
Yeah. I knew that it was going to make a big impact on our ABLE employees and their families, but I didn't realize how big of an impact it would make on our support staff or just customers. We had one little girl with Down syndrome come in, and she like stopped in her tracks, and she was like, "Mommy, that employee, the lady at the register, she looks just like me."
Oh, wow.
And so I think, I'm so used to it because being a special education teacher, being with CraveABLES, it's the normal for me to have, one of our employees with Down syndrome, but realistically, you don't see them everywhere. And so she was shocked and so happy to see somebody that looked like her sitting behind the register, ready to take her order. And then it was so cute. 5 minutes later, they were both doing a dance party in the middle of the dance floor at CraveABLES. So,
But also lets her know that there's hope for her
Yes,
as she
yeah.
grows older. That, I know when our little girl was little, all she wanted to do was work a cash register. That every birthday for years was cash registers coming in. And so, you think about that little girl, and now she has a vision in her mind that there's hope that one day she can work that cash register too, or at least scoop some ice cream and say
Exactly.
hello to people and just be connected, which is, you're doing such a great work.
Yeah. It's been so fun to see the relationships that are built. Our support staff have become really close. Our ABLE staff have become really close. Some of the workers leave work together and go hang out, go get dinner after. The parents have bonded and kind of shared community resources together, especially in the disability community. Some parents don't know about options that are around. And so we call it the CraveABLES family. We really, truly are one big family that have bonded so closely.
Have you found that there's any kind of grants in our state or federal government that any of our listeners can actually write on your behalf for funding? Have you done any research on that?
We've done a little bit of research on grants. A lot of grants have requirements to where you have to be operating for like 3-4
Okay.
years. Because we were founded in 23, we're coming up on 2. There is a local grant that is specifically for disabilities, and it's COVAR, and they actually were the first to issue us $20,000, and they allowed us to fully equip our trailer and get started and get
Wow.
operating. Yes.
Yeah.
So we were very blessed to have them.
Well, as you get closer to those time frames to where you can actually apply for more grants, we'll have to stay very involved so where we can write our legislators and let them know that we're all pulling for you to get extra funding, because that should be something that we're looking at is programs like this, how we on a state level can help you young people get started. I know our family came to the grand opening and just to see the faces. I know, Chris, we couldn't even get ice cream. There was too many people in
I
there.
mean, your parking lot was absolutely packed.
Yeah.
We were like, where do we park? This is awesome. I mean, it was just an incredible day. There was probably hundreds of people out front. You had your grand ribbon cutting and all the pictures and the social media posts. It just looked incredible. So
It was.
I mean, how proud were you? I mean, you had to be pretty proud that day.
I don't remember who it was, but they said on opening day, just take a second and look around and take it in. And I'm going to get emotional just even talking about it because, it's one of those things that you dream about and you work so hard and you're just like, I hope this day comes, like we're going to make it come. And then when it was here, I did. I stopped and I just looked around and I was so thankful that the community, supported it, and seeing you guys there and seeing all of the families and friends. And then I think there was a whole Jeep parade that heard about us and came too.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. So that was an incredible day that I'll never forget. And, if we're having a hard day or if we're tired and, meetings and working, I just honestly think back to that day and I'm like, we got to keep pushing. We got to continue to serve our community and bring in funding and just allow us to grow more and more.
Well, I know CraveABLES has been very instrumental in pulling through some food truck needs, Christopher, at the golf course. And we were so glad you were able to come. It ended up being a bigger event, I think, than you guys could
That was our biggest event. We did not know what we were getting into, but we loved it.
Let's just go ahead and plug Light Up the Lawn.
Light Up the Lawn.
2025. It'll be
come
here.
see Taylor and the kids.
We'll have CraveABLES back, but I do remember your husband was like, we're overwhelmed. This is incredible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know your ice cream was a hit.
Yeah.
I think I had several scoops, and it hit the spot on a nice hot day
Yeah,
too.
there was
So
about 8,000 people there that night.
Wow,
And,
that was a fun night.
yeah. So we're, actively doing things. And I think for any of our listeners out there in the local community, Taylor would welcome you to write in to have that. You have a new ice cream truck
Yes,
now.
we do.
Yeah.
It's wheelchair accessible,
Yeah.
which was a really big deal because we have a few employees that are in wheelchairs, and they've always wanted to be able to do the events. And when they heard that we were getting a ice cream truck that wheelchair lift was on there, they were like, "Book me the first event. I want to work it." So
Oh, cool. So anybody that wants to get in touch with you, where do they find you to have the truck out?
CraveABLES.org, there's an events tab, and there's a booking form right there, and then we'll reach right back out.
So we're here with Taylor Perkins, the owner, visionary, entrepreneur, and newly formed ice cream shop, but it's more than an ice cream shop right here in Lynchburg, Virginia, off of 221. And we're discussing her passion and her mission for those that are able-bodied that we may not think typically would be, but boy, they are working some wonders out there with you.
Yes, exactly. They're so able. We are called CraveABLES with capital ABLE because they might have one disability, but they have millions, endless amounts of abilities. They just need the platform or opportunity to show the world their abilities.
So tell me a little bit about how, one of the things we need to bring to our listeners, viewpoint here is you're open year round. And
Yes.
not all ice cream shops do that, so which means that you have to almost have twice as many funds to keep this
Exactly.
going because you have to be able to pay those wonderful young people that are working in that trailer. Talk a little bit about that and in the shop.
Yeah. Well, some people are like, I don't understand how you're an ice cream shop and a nonprofit. Do you give the ice cream away for free? I'm like, no. Let me tell you about it. So a typical ice cream shop either closes during the winter or they would, if they're open during the cooler season, they have 1 or 2 employees. But our whole mission is about employing as many people as possible. And with the able staff and support staff, it's double the amount. So in the summer, we have about 6 to 8 employees a shift, 3 shifts a day. And in the winter, we have about 4 to 6 employees a shift. And so, we have hot chocolate. We've started some warm sundaes. We've started some fun things in the cooler months to stay open. But that's really where we don't bring in enough to pay for our expenses. So we lean on the community through sponsorships, through donations, through our fundraisers to be able to support these employees year round. I remember we were talking about maybe closing for a little bit. Maybe a month around like Christmas time, January, and our able employees were like, "No, you can't close the store." This, they look forward to it. It's part of their routine. It's part of their life. And so we're like, you know what? We're not going to close the store. We are just going to fundraise some more. We're going to keep coming up with new ideas. So we've started bringing in field trips. A lot of special education classes come out to us. We have some groups come to us. Actually, Pearls of Life came to us on an incredible trip, and it was probably one of our favorite trips that have come.
I love that.
Yeah, that was a great one.
They love ice cream.
Oh yeah.
And they love to be with people too, because in their own rights they have some special needs as well. So thank you for doing that. You also are able to host birthday parties. Let's talk about that, because there's a big need for that, especially for the younger ones.
Yeah. So we have a event space that we really were just going to use for storage, but it's such a big space. It's almost 1,000 square feet.
Wow.
Plenty of room to run around. We have a bunch of tables and chairs, and we have 3 different packages, and it can be booked online, CraveABLES.org, under the event tabs as well. But there's a variety of things people can do in there. They can just book it and do their own activities. We have some games that are provided, like pin the cherry on the ice cream cone. We have sweets bingo games, and we have some different crafts they can do. But birthday parties have been a really big hit. And we asked feedback from customers that booked it. Just because we're so new, I want to hear. And they said, up your price. And I said, no. I'm not going to up our price. We want people to book it. Everything is very expensive for a venue.
Yeah.
We want you to come. That brings us customers. That gives our employees jobs.
Right. It gives you volume, and which is exactly what you need. Tell us how some of our community people can help you.
Yeah. So there's lots of ways. We do take volunteers. We ask that they commit to at least one shift a week. We like consistency so that you really get to know our staff, their needs, the different support that they might need. But we also have group volunteers come out and they work on like a group project. We've had some churches come in and paint fences. We have Liberty Serve coming out soon, and they're filling our grab bags for a fundraiser coming up. So there's a variety of ways they can book us, book our trailer or our ice cream truck, or just come out and get ice cream and support us that way.
What surprised you over a year? We talk about entrepreneurship a lot on the show. What maybe has surprised you the most over your first year of being in that storefront?
I would say I kind of assumed that our employee family would be close, but I didn't realize how close we would come with the customers. I mean, we have met some families that come in once a week. We now know their birthdays. They know our employee birthdays. And there's some times where I'm like, there's no way that you want ice cream again, but they will. They'll want it again, even if they just got it the day before or they just came from a big dinner. They'll say, I'm going to get it at least to go home and eat it later, but I needed to come here and see all of y'all's faces. So I would just say the customer and the relationships that have been built has been incredible.
So I hear that you have a wait list for people that want to work. So, and you're holding workshops for potential people to be able to fill in as positions become available. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So we have 34 employees now. We just hired a few more. And obviously we want to hire as many as possible, but we also can only have but so many working at one time. And we want to make sure our employees get enough shifts and are able to, make paychecks that they need. But at one point we had 70 people on the wait list.
Wow.
Yeah, which it's incredible to know that many people want to work at CraveABLES, but it also breaks my heart to know that many people are in need of a job and in need of a supportive employment job. So we were like, how can we meet these needs we don't have another location right now, hopefully maybe in the near future, but what can we do to start, kind of weaning off that wait list or helping them start finding jobs. So we have come up with employment workshops that we're going to start this summer where they come in for free and they learn all these job skills, learn how to advocate for their needs, build a resume, and leave with a personalized resume to hopefully be able to go out and find a job while at least they're on the wait list, and hopefully one day we can employ them.
That's amazing. I know you and I, before the show started, also talked about the fact that CraveABLES is something that other states are looking at.
Yes.
Tell our listeners, I found that fascinating because if you think about 51 states and how one gal's vision could literally change the United States, the look of how we view our disabled, able-bodied clients. Tell us a little bit about some of the feedback that you're hearing, because this podcast is going to go out all across America.
Right.
And I want people to really know that they can reach out to you because we want to make a big impact if we can.
Yeah. So we have people come in probably 2-3 times a week that say like, oh, is this a franchise? Where did this start? Where are the other ones? We're like, no, this is it. This is just us. And they're like, this is the only one? Did you come up with this? I'm like, well, it's a team effort. And then we've had a ton of people that are like, oh, I want to open one. But recently we've got people really calling and reaching out and saying, I'm from Georgia, I'm from North Carolina, and we want to start a CraveABLES. We love your mission. We love your vision. We just love everything about it. How do we start this? So we said after we'd been open for a year, we'd sit down, we'd know what works, what doesn't, and we'd sit down and kind of look at what that would be. Because we're not really leaning towards franchise, but we want to open other CraveABLES and allow people to, build this in their community. So we actually just met with lawyers this past month, and we're coming up with a licensing package to where they can kind of buy and all the information about CraveABLES and then get us kind of as a mentor to open their own. So hopefully in the next few months, more CraveABLES will start being built and opened in the year or two.
That's amazing. I'm so proud of you, by the way. Oh, my goodness. You're talking about, Christopher, we talk a lot about on the show is having your passion and finding a purpose. And this is definitely an example of that. Tell me your favorite ice cream flavor, if you had to
You
eat
stole
it.
my question.
I'm sorry,
That's what I've
I
been
was going
wanting
to
to
jump in
know the
here.
whole time.
If you had to eat it all year long, what's your favorite flavor that you sell out
Oh
there?
gosh. Okay, I'm not going to be able to answer this in just like 2 words. So I'll say our top seller is Lemon Crunch, and that is like a lemon
Oh,
cookie
yes.
crumble through Homestead Creamery. People will drive 45 minutes and be like, "We're here for the Lemon Crunch." I mean, that is so good. I got really stuck on peanut butter chip with also banana. It's like a peanut butter chocolate
Okay.
banana
Mhm.
put together. That I love that. Our basic one that is so simple, but I recommend to everybody is our cookies and cream. You
Yeah.
really can't get much better than cookies and cream. I mean, who doesn't love that? But we also have vegan flavors. That was a big need in the community
Oh, it
and
definitely
amongst
is.
our employees who had some dairy issues and allergens. So we have vegan chocolate, and then vegan coconut chip. And people who are not vegan, they'll see vegan and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to try it." I'm like, just sample it. They get it every time.
Love it.
So, yeah, that was not a great answer for one, but we have so many good flavors.
Well,
You can't go wrong.
Basically, we just need to go get Lemon Crunch right after
You
the
do.
show.
I
I think
know.
that's where we landed on that.
I love Lemon Crunch.
It's good.
Yeah.
Taylor, you mentioned you have 34 staff members,
Mhm.
and obviously all those folks take supportive staff as well. Speak a little bit about how critical and crucial it is to have those supportive staff for one, and how the community can get involved, but also the fundraising that it takes, because more staff means it costs more.
It does, yeah. So the support staff, and when we're training, because we have some volunteers, we have a lot of CSER students now, which has been a big blessing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's shaped their future too. They're like, I don't know, I might want to go into this field. Now they're looking into going as special education teacher. They're going into occupational therapy. So, I mean, that's where going back to college, I didn't know what I was going to do. And my field study drove me to special education. So it's very impactful time for college. But to get back to your question, when we're training, we say we are support staff. So don't do it for our ABLE staff. Help and find the need and help them do it, but don't do it for them. So some of our ABLE staff might just need a reminder. Some of our ABLE staff might need a physical assistance. So it really just depends on who you're working with, which is so fun that you can individualize each person's kind of work and support. But our support staff is so needed in so many ways, because they're not only giving them the confidence that they need, but they're just helping them know that they're able to do so many things. And some of them might just stand beside them, and with the ABLE staff knowing that they're right there, that's all that they need. And some, more encouragement, more hands-on help. But without the support staff, we can't exist. And so we love volunteers. We love CSER students. But again, we really ask for people that can commit to at least like 6 to 8 weeks of at least one consistent shift a week, so we can build those relationships, so you can understand the training and the need that everyone or the person that you're working with may need.
So we're here with Taylor Musgrove Perkins, the owner, CEO of CraveABLES. Tell the community about your fundraisers coming up over the next few months and how they can get directly involved in helping you keep this ministry really going.
So we're so excited. It's our first CraveABLES Cup fundraiser, and it's not your typical golf tournament. So it's a miniature golf tournament at Tiny Town on May 17th, and you also get lunch with County Smoke. It's a team of 4.
Oh, wow.
We'll have games, we'll have music, a lot of fun things. But when we were coming up with a fundraiser, we were like, what is something that our employees can be a part of? And also our customers are families and young children. So what is something that can be a memorable day for them, but also allow us to bring in those funds that we need? So there's more information about that on craveables.org. We need teams to sign up. We have 54 teams. And then also, we're still seeking sponsors. So we have different sponsors. We're in need of a title sponsor still. We're in need of a few whole sponsors still. So if anyone out there is interested in being a sponsor,
Well, we
that's
right
another
here
way.
we'll let you know that we will sponsor something. So
Thank
we'll get with
you.
you after
Woohoo.
this and do something for you.
Thank you so
I mean,
much.
I'm always down to play some putt-putt.
Yeah.
You got to put your family in. It'll
That's
be
right.
fun.
Always
That's
down to play
right.
some
Sounds
putt-putt.
fun. Yeah. So anything else in the year that you know that you're going to be doing? Any other big fundraisers other than you want to talk about
So
that?
actually, this past week, It kind of got thrown together fast, but it's really exciting. CSE, a crane company, their intentional
Yes.
living team has sponsored a golf ball drop that we're pairing with it. So on May 18th, the following day, there's going to be a golf ball drop from the crane, and the ball that goes either in the hole or closest to the hole wins $5,000.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Thank you to CSE.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So golf balls are $25 a ball, or you can get 5 for $100. And then you can come to the golf ball drop. But if you can't make it, we're going to live stream it. And this is just a way, the feedback was, oh, we want to be there on the 17th. I live out of town or I have prior commitment, but we still want to support you. Well, now you can do it through the golf ball drop.
That's fantastic. We know the CSE family and
Yes.
they're giving people, and I think that's going to be a big help to you.
It
How
is.
fantastic.
Very blessed.
So, fun story about a golf ball drop, Mom. If you remember a few years ago, you were in a helicopter
Yes.
doing a golf ball drop,
Yes.
raising money for Alzheimer's at our
Very
golf course
scary.
in Ashley Plantation. So I can tell you they are a lot of fun.
They
If
are.
you can envision Mom hanging out the side of a
Yeah, good for you. I
helicopter
can't say I would do
Yeah,
that. I'd be
I did
terrified.
it for Alzheimer's.
Yes.
I hope I don't have to do it
up
again.
in the air, just hanging out the side, dropping them. It was awesome. It
we
was
were able
awesome.
to raise a lot of
I
money
think it's a
for
great idea.
that particular cause. But I love how you've integrated, all of your family and your community family and different businesses that have just come together and said, you know what, we can't be there to open up the shop every day and turn the lights on and make sure your orders are all right, but we believe in what you're doing, and so these are the things we're going to do for you. And so we're coming on air again today with CraveABLES and Taylor right here around the table, asking for those that are listening, if you're being tugged at your heart to do a little something, this is a great cause for our community.
Taylor, you mentioned about how much you have learned that the staff have needed the CraveABLES, but also have become family to you. And I remember the day we went on opening day, it was very apparent how much those able-bodied workers, the joy on their face whenever a client came in and got a cup of ice cream or a scoop or a cone, it just radiated off of them how proud they were to be associated. Can you speak any stories that really stand out to you, a success story or anything like that?
Yeah. So I do remember specifically one employee said she got her schedule and she wasn't working on her birthday. And most of us would say, oh, we don't want to work on our birthday. We want to relax. We want to do that. She was like, please put me on schedule for my birthday. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm like, they do love it here. They, this is where they want to be. Ironically, on the way here, I had texted a parent because we got booked for an ice cream truck event. And I said, hey, would so-and-so be able to or like to work this truck event? And she said, I'll ask him. He's working out at the moment, but I'll ask him. He has baseball that night, and he loves baseball. And so, I was like, oh, he probably won't be able to do it. She texted me and she said, well, he must love you and he must love working because he said he'd rather work the truck than go to baseball.
Oh my goodness.
And so those are just hearing those little texts that meant nothing probably to the mom, but meant everything to me, that this is why we are here and this is why CraveABLES exists.
Well, I can't wait to hear 12 months from now when we come back again, what's happened and how many doors have opened. Again, we're just a very small part of your world, but we've watched from afar, and we're just so proud that we were able to get in that first couple of months there with you and just really learn who you are. And honestly, congratulations to all your staff and all of those able-bodied young adults that are in there making their dreams come true. And congratulations for communicating to this community what that means and how much it means to them, that we're not looking past them, that we actually see them. And that just does my heart so good to be able to say that we've talked about it right here, Christopher.
Absolutely. Taylor, one more time, tell everybody where they can connect with you. I know you do a great job on social media as well to kind of follow along on the journey, hit people with information.
A lot of our information is on our website, craveables.org. You can also follow us on CraveABLES LYH on Instagram and CraveABLES on Facebook. We try to put everything out through social media, but if you don't have social media, you can always come in store, and we would love to see you and tell you more about us.
Well, Taylor, I'm going to head over and get some Lemon Crunch ice cream.
Yeah, make that 2 scoops for me.
Thank you for joining us on the show today. As always, Mom, I know you got a special quote prepared for us today. So
This goes out to all my friends at CraveABLES and for Taylor and all the staff there. I hope you know how much we respect you and how much we're honored to be a part of this show with you. Recognizing and respecting differences in others and treating everyone like you want them to treat you will help make our world a better place for everyone. Care, be your best. You don't have to be handicapped to be different because everyone is different.
Wow, I couldn't have said that better.
Till next time, I'm Vickie, right here around the table.